Hello everyone, my name is Rex Geisler and I work at SAP. In this video I'm going to walk you through one of the two GUI administrators for SAP Sybase IQ version 15.4. The first one is Sybase Control Center, and we'll review that in another webcast. But in this video, we're actually going to look at Sybase Central. And so we're going to move over to my desktop, and over here in the SAP Sybase IQ area, this rectangle, we've got a Start IQ database. And so I'm going to go ahead and start that up, and we'll be able to actually see the database starting here. And it'll start on my laptop, and then we'll go over and basically look at the Sybase Central GUI tool. So now we've got the Sybase Central administrator beginning, and it pops up a couple of early on tips at the startup so that you can see different areas of the administration itself. Now, to start with, what we've got here is a tree view when the Sybase IQ plugin is registered properly within Sybase Central. At the top, we have some connections that we can connect in here to the databases with. In this case, we have a connection profile for IQ demo. And if we edit that profile, we can see that we're actually connecting through a DSN through ODBC. And we can add as many profiles as we want into Sybase Central. Now in this case, at the top we have a multiplex environment which allows us to connect to multiple Sybase IQ servers. And so that allows us to add more and more users, practically infinitely, so that we can segregate those users as well into different areas. So for instance, you could have different tenants, so to speak, that actually use the SAP Sybase IQ database, but from different angles, different permissions, different queries, different reports, etc. And then you could have multiple servers loading at the same time into this same IQ database. Now as we go down, we can see that we've got one server running and a database, and the user ID that's logged in is DBA in this case, and so that's a default user that we can look at. Now for this particular database, we can look at the connections that are currently going on, any fragmentation for a particular table, as well as page usage for that table. Again, the pages are focused really on grabbing those columns that are needed from the columnar database, SAP Sybase IQ. Any locks and any deadlocks as well. Now when we drill down to the DB spaces, this is an area that allows us to access into viewing the various areas. But before we go into that, we can right mouse button click on the actual server itself, and we can create a database, or we can start a database, or we can convert an existing simplex database or single type of server into a multiplex type environment where we have multiple servers. We can stop the server, and we can view log files as well. Now if we want to look at the log files while we're running, we can go to the view menu, and we can actually see the server messages and executed SQL. And so you can see that the actual database was started up here in this line. Database server started at a certain time, and now we're accepting requests to the database itself. We'll go ahead and turn that log off, but we can always refer back to it as well. Now when we were talking about DB spaces, we can see that we've got several here also. And so the DB spaces allow us to define different areas where we can store tables. So you can think of this as analogous to possibly a table space in another DBMS type system. So these are the DB spaces. Again, we can easily create a new DB space and walk through a wizard which actually creates that with the specific amount of storage in that area as well. Now once we've got the DB spaces set up, we can go ahead and create tables within those DB spaces also. Now we can also have directory access servers which allow you access to a local file structure of the computer that's running the database server on. And so you can specify proxy tables to access subdirectories on that computer and things like this. So that's the directory access servers. Now the domains are really kind of like aliases for built-in data types, and they include the precision and the scale values where needed, and optionally default values and even check conditions as well. So some data domains, such as the monetary data types, are predefined within the IQ metadata database, but you can add more of your own. Now domains are also called user-defined data types, and they allow you, columns that you can look at, and you can see the different data types here for the actual domains as well. So for instance, the money data type is a numeric 19,4 for that particular designation. And of course you can again add more of these domains if you want to create a new domain yourself. And we've also got events, and within the events you can specify a scheduler. The events are typically using SQL, and so they're declaring variables similar to a stored procedure, but there's a scheduler that goes along with them. So in this case, the space logger is running every 300 seconds for that particular occurrence. Now we can also specify the events in other types of ways. So we can call this event 1 and specify whether it's going to be triggered manually or if it's going to be scheduled at a certain time of day or date ranges, or conditionally as well. And so you can actually specify what system event in this case is going to be triggered for this event to be triggered. So you can see some of the different system events there as well. And then you can enable this event or disable it as well, and then we could finish it, and it allows you to begin typing in the event statements there. Now the external environments allow you to actually create different types of components or routines, programmatic routines, within the SAP Sybase IQ server itself. And so you can see the different types of routines here, from C to Java to Perl to PHP also. Now the external logins allows us access to external environments, so for instance like other database servers and things like this. The indexes allow us to go ahead and create different types of indexes, and they will identify those as well. If we create a primary key, for instance, on a table, it will automatically create a new index. Now we can specify a particular table here for the index to be created, and then it gives us the different types of indexes that IQ allows, from high groups to high non-groups, low fast, and different types of data types as well, like datetime, and then Word also. Now along with indexes, we have join indexes, which allow us to actually join different columns within different tables in kind of a set type format. The logical servers also provide a way to kind of categorize or group together different servers within a multiplex type of environment. And then we can have policies that are set up for those particular logins as well. So the logical servers, as well as the login mappings and the login policies based on root or other types of policies that you want to set up for passwords and areas like this also. Now, we can also add in stored procedures, and so for instance, here's several different types of stored procedures. You can see them. They're assigned to a particular owner, either a user or a group also, and they can have permissions and parameters as well within the user environment. We also have publications and remote servers. Remote servers allow us to connect to other types of databases. So for instance, if we had an Oracle database that we wanted to pull data from, then we could specify this, within the remote server type environment. And we would go to our Oracle server and specify either ODBC or JDBC type connectivity as well. Now, there's also some spatial reference generators for spatial type data, as well as different types of SQL remote users for connecting to local type systems, and then different types of jar file support, as well as single classes for actual Java connectivity. Now, here's our database tables, which is very frequently used. And one thing I wanted to show was actually having a particular, showing a table and pulling it up within the interactive SQL environment. Because once you go into your interactive SQL environment, and we have our Sybase Central environment as well, we can actually pull tables and drag and drop them into that environment to actually get their DDL syntax. So in another video, I was creating tables and created a new table, and this had two columns in it, column 1 big int and column 2 double, and then a primary key as well with a comment on it also, and the comment being demo. So this actually pulled all of that metadata into the interactive SQL environment very quickly in order to specify that DDL script without having to reverse engineer it from SAP Power Designer data modeling tool or anything else in that regard. We've also got the users and groups, and so you can see here the list of users and groups within Sybase Central. And we've got views also, so that you can see different types of views and of course all of the different specifications. Typically, if you just right mouse button click on a particular area in the folder of Sybase Central, then you can see different activities and creating new objects, etc. Now, the other thing that is nice is the tasks menu item up here, because you can drill down into different types of viewing tasks, or if you're in other areas, creating a table, creating different types of backups and information as well. So some of these other user interface aspects help out also in Sybase Central. So this gives you an overview of Sybase Central and allows you to administer Sybase IQ 15.4 database along with Sybase Control Center web administration tool.